Shalom, everybody, and welcome to TorahTrue.com and RelatableTorah.com. Welcome to the Testament of the Baal Shem Tov. This is class number 4, and we are bringing you the foundational principles of Chasidic philosophy and end practice. And we're going through the Sefer Tzavat Harivash, the Testament of the Baal Shem Tov, available both in English and Hebrew from Kahat Publications. Let me get my, there we go. I hope, too much light is not bouncing off my forehead, my very empty forehead when I take my hat off. In any case, we just finished paragraph 9, Tet. We're now going on to paragraph Yud, 10. And he begins by speaking about how important this concept of hishtavut, which we discussed earlier, how important this concept is, and one of the advantages of this concept. Now, hishtavut, as we will repeat, is honesty, equality, looking at things in a way that everything is equal, whether it's something which would normally be considered desirable or normally be considered otherwise. Everything we have to look at as being equal. Why? Because Hashem, everything comes from Hashem. Hakol mito yitbarach. You should always keep these two verses I'm going to give you now, should always keep in mind. Hakol meito yitbarach. Everything comes directly from Hashem. Of course, people, circumstances, whatever, are channels for Hashem's influence. However, the truth is it comes from Hashem. And ein od milvado. There's nothing other than Hashem. Nothing other than Hashem. We'll get into this whole concept later on, but the first thing that you have to remember is Hakol meito yitbarach. Everything comes from Hashem. Okay, now, in number 10, the Baal Shem Tov says as follows. Klal gadol mi Baal Shem Tov zal hishtavut. A very big foundational principle from the Baal Shem Tov of blessed memory is hishtavut, equality, equanimity, straightforwardness, perush. What does that mean? Sheyesh shava etzlo. Everything's got to be equal to you, meaning, somebody gives you a potch, somebody gives you a kiss. They're equal to you because everything comes from Hashem for your benefit. For your benefit, for the whatever you need to rectify yourself. This is what comes to you. Im yachzikuhu lechisaron yediya lechesron yediya o lo yodeh b'chol haTorah kula. It doesn't matter whether you're an ignorant person, or whether you know the whole Torah, kula, the entire Torah. V'davar hagoreim lazeh. And what causes this? What causes you to have this perspective of hishtavut, of this perspective of equality of all things? Huadvekut ba'orei tadir. This is binding oneself or attaching oneself to the Creator all the time, constantly. Shemachmat tirdot hadveikut, that through the effort of binding yourself and attaching yourself to Hashem and always focusing on everything coming from Hashem, ein lo panai lachshov badvarim elu shetarud tamid ledabek atzmo lemala bo yitbarach. You have there's no space for you to think of something else, to think of things which are which would get in the way of your having this very important and constructive perspective. Okay, let's go on to Yud Aleph, number 11. Let me just turn this as well, in case we want to use the translation that they have. Okay, here's another important principle. Uvechol davar she'aseh. In everything that you do, yachshov bazeh shehu oseh nahat ruach leboro yitbarach. Everything that you do, you should think I am doing that. You should do it in such a way that you should think, through doing this, I am giving pleasure to my Creator. You know, when somebody says, "Oh, you give me such nachas," such pleasure. So this is what we should be considering. Hashem is our Father. Avinu Shabashamayim. He's our Father in heaven. So we want to bring our Father nachas, nachat ruach. So in everything that we do, we should think of that by doing this and doing this in the proper way, in the wonderful way, we will be bringing nachat ruach to our blessed Creator. V'lo letzarach atzmo afilu me'at. And we shouldn't do something for our own needs, for our own desires, even a little bit. So this is a level, a madrega. This is a level to which you aspire, not a level you necessarily expect to achieve all the time. But you focus, you don't want to do something just to pleasure yourself. You want to do something, to bring yourself pleasure. You want to do something which will bring pleasure to Hashem, and even if through doing it you bring pleasure to yourself. Say, yeah, I'm so cool. Look at what I did for Hashem. This is not what we should be doing. We should be focusing on bringing pleasure to Hashem. And it shouldn't be within our minds that this is also for bringing pleasure to ourselves. If as a result of doing something which brings pleasure to Hashem, that we felt good that we have been able to do that, that's one thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a positive thing. However, to focus on that as being part of our motivation, part of that which pushes us to do this thing, this is not good according to the Baal Shem Tov. This is not what we should be focusing on. Afilu imasa sheyeh lo tainug ba'avodato zehu letzorach atzmo. I'm not going to translate that because it's going to have it would seem to contradict something that we said earlier, but it doesn't. But we'd have to go into too much of an explanation to explain why. So we're just going to continue, and you'll have to trust me that what I've told you is the essence of the teaching. Okay, Yud Bet 12. Ve'al yomar b'libo shehu gadol mechavero. You should never think in your heart that you are greater than your friend, greater than your companion. It could be that you have somebody with whom you have certain characteristics which are greater, or certain characteristics which are apparently greater or apparently lesser. Shehu oved b'dveikut yoter. So let's say you're able to serve Hashem, and specifically, let's say in prayer, that you really concentrate deeply on your prayers, and this other person is having difficulties on that concentration. Shu kishani vrayin shnivru letzarach avodato yitbarach, because he is you're just like any other creature, like any other creation, which was created for the purpose of serving Hashem. Ve'Hashem yitbarach lo natan chaveiro seichel kamo shenatan lo seichel. So, and in this particular situation, okay, so Hashem didn't give him the same intellectual capacity in doing a particular learning or doing a particular davening, whatever it is, that he gave you. Uvamehu chashuv yoter meha tolat. But think of it this way: how are you any better than a worm? Are you? I'm talking. Are you any better than a worm? So what does the Baal Shem Tov means here? Shetolat oved laborei yitborach bechol sichla v'kocho. That a tolat, a worm, he serves Hashem with all of his power and all of his intellect, everything he has. What's his job? His job is to go through the earth, to eat the dirt and then expel it in a more a better way, so that it can help to grow crops, etc. But whatever, this is the job of the worm. Does the worm ever stop doing his job? No, the worm, as long as he is has the capacity, to do his job, he's going to be doing it. V'adam gam kein rima v'tolea. A human being, a person, is also a worm. Kamosha katuv, like it's written, V'anochi tolat v'lo ish. I'm a worm and not a man. Im lo natan lo Hashem yitbarach seichel lo haya yachol avdo rak kamo talat. And if Hashem hadn't given you seichel, hadn't given you, a higher degree of intellect, you wouldn't be able to serve him any better than a worm. V'im kein, if so, afilu tolat enu chashuv v'mala kol shekein mibnei adam. So if this is so, let me just sum this up on the outside. The Tolat is given a job in this world, and he does it with all his capacity, with everything he's got. Now, he was given certain strengths, and he uses them to their utmost. Now, you were also given strengths, and you were given much greater strengths than a worm. You were given tremendous capacities, both intellectually, spiritually, physically. You were given these great capacities. Now, let's be honest. Is there any one of us who uses them to their utmost? I don't really know anybody who uses all his or her capacities to their utmost. We have much to do, and anything that we're lacking in using our capabilities to the utmost is really, and I hate to put it in Musar terms. I'd rather put it in Chassidus terms. However, it's a little insulting, Chas v'Shalom, to Hashem, because He gives you so much. And He gives you these capacities and these tremendous abilities, and for us not to really use them to their utmost, or at least close to their utmost, we're not doing what we should. So we should keep ourselves focused on serving Hashem with tremendous joy, and to the best of our abilities. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay. V'yachshov shehu v'tolat v'share briot ktanot heim chashuvim k'mo chaverim be'olam. And one second. Let me go to here. Bear in mind that you, the worm, and all other small creatures are considered as equals in this world. Shekulam nivraim ve'ein lahem yecholet rak ma shenatan lahem haborei yitbarach. So we're all creations, and none of us has the capability to do anything except to the extent of the capacities which our blessed Creator has given us. V'davar zeh yeh tamid b'machshavto. And this thing should always be in your mind, that Hashem has given you capacities. You can only do things according to the capacities He's given you, but you should definitely do them to the greatest extent of fulfilling those capacities. I think you know what I mean, even if I didn't express it exactly correctly. Do the best that you can, and according to what Hashem has given you. Okay. And this should always be in your mind. But a very important thing to always remember, even if we don't state it clearly, in each of these teachings, Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha. You serve Hashem with simcha, with joy. That doesn't mean you have to go be giddy and run out all the time and be silly and giddy. That's not what it means at all. In fact, it's probably the opposite of constructive to act like that, because that could lead you to kalot rosh, which means light. It literally means lightheadedness, but foolishness. Getting away from the what's really important. However, simcha, joy, be calm and happy in your heart, and serve Hashem because of all the tremendous things that He does for us all the time and gives us, all the miracles that He causes to happen around us and to us every single day. Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha. Serve Hashem with great joy. Okay, now Yud Gimel 13. Okay. Well, this does not necessarily relate or apply to everybody. However, since it is in the Sefer, and since everybody can fulfill what they can fulfill to the best of their capability and time and degree of understanding and learning, so we'll do this quick one for those purposes. If somebody desires to do a particular sin, God forbid, az yomar psukim shel ha'avera hahi, then you say the verses from the Torah which apply to that particular sin, b'ta'amim u'v'nekudot, with cantillation notes, the musical notes in the Torah, and their vowels, b'tchilu urchimu, with awe and love of Hashem, das telech mimenu hata'ava, and then if you do that, the ta'ava, the desire, this inappropriate desire, will go from you. It will leave you. Okay, Yud Daled 14. Okay, here's another one. Okay, I actually found. Let's see. Here it is. I actually found the Tehillim that I used to like the best. This is the Book of Psalms that I used to like the best for whatever reason. I had put certain things inside of it for my own inspiration. In the front, I put the 72 names of Hashem, or names that are derived from three different psukim in the account of the splitting of the Yam Suf, which these names it is understood in Kabbalah that they were used by Moshe Rabbeinu to split the sea. They have great meaning and power, and to those who have studied these matters for many years and understand a little bit about them. There's nobody that I know of understands a lot about it, but in any case, also I have a verse right in the front of it which relates to this next paragraph that we're going to be learning, and I'll just show it to you. See, I taped this verse inside. Okay, what does it say? It says, I don't know, it looks backwards to me. I don't know if you can see this frontwards, but in any case, you'll see in a moment what it says. If you have a desire, you develop a desire for a particular evil or bad, the word evil gets people, off kilter a little bit sometimes. But if you have a bad characteristic that you're feeling that you have to display, such as anger or that type of thing, Azay Yomar Hashisha Amim Haknani Ve'achiti, etc. then you say the verse which mentions the 6 evil nations, and they are, and I'll read it off to you now: Haknaani, Hachiti, Haamori, Haprizi, Hachivi, Hayevusi, V'Hagirgashi. And you say that B'chol kocho b'tchilu urchimu, with all your strength, with awe and love of Hashem. Mistalik mimenu. Then it will, the desire to display this evil characteristic will go from you, will run from you, so to speak. V'ikshor chemda hazot lakadosh baruch hu. And you then bind this love for Hashem, to Hashem. So it's saying, let me give you an example. If you see a member of the opposite gender who really, makes you want to, be involved with that person. Ahava ra'ah, you want to have relations with that person. This is an evil ahava. This is a bad love, a love which is not according to Hashem's will, which is not constructive. Lo ye'ahav rak et Hashem yitbarach. So what do you do then when you have this feeling of love or of an appropriate love? You refocus it on Hashem. You refocus that feeling towards Hashem, not towards that person. V'chol magmato yehelazeh v'im bekas, or let's say it is anger we're talking about. Shu yira ra'ah, which is inappropriate fear or awe. Nimshach mimida hagvura. This is drawn from the characteristic of strict justice, of gvura, of strength, but the evil side of strength. Yigbor al yitzro. So you then get a hold of your yetzer hara, your evil inclination, so to speak. V'yaseh mehamida hazot merkava li'Hashem yitbarach. And then you make from this characteristic a vehicle for Hashem, meaning you take this negative awe or negative fear or anger and you turn it around and make it into an awe of Hashem. You take this anger, turn it around, and then you feel overcome instead with fear, with awe for Hashem. Instead of anger, I should say, you have, instead of anger, you have then awe for Hashem. And I'm not meaning, oh, no. Okay. Ucheshomea echad doresh bitchilu urchimu azayad bik lediburo meod yeachtu timo im hamochiach ki diburo naasetzlo machshava uvazet tistalik mimeno. So when you hear someone preaching, with fear and love of God, attach yourself strongly to his words, to become united with the person who is doing the preaching. His words will then become thoughts in your mind and take the sinful thoughts away from you. They will leave you. Okay, I give it to you because it's in there. However, the bottom line is, we want to be bound to, we want to attach ourselves to Hashem, and also to great tzaddikim, great tamidei chachamim who can help to bring us closer to Hashem through their teachings. Okay, now we're getting close to our time limit. However, I think we can do one more. Tet Vav, number 15. Okay. We touched on this concept before, but let's get into it. Koidem kol yizaher b'chol tenua usnua b'avodato shehei bilti pniach has shalom. Before anything else, you have to be careful with each and every movement in your service of Hashem that it has to be without ulterior motives, personal ulterior motives. And really, to be able to fulfill this properly, you need to be very clever. You need to really examine your motives and your actions carefully. Amok amok mi yimtzeena, which is a verse which basically says, so deep, how can we find it? Im kein ein breira rak liot davar zeh l'zikaron tamid. The truth is that we have to keep ourselves with this in our mind all the time. That when we serve Hashem, it should never be with pniyah, with any kind of ulterior motives. It should just be for the service of Hashem. Al yasiach dato mimenu afilu rega echad. We should not divert our minds from this concept, from this intention, even for one moment. Hu davar posel behesach hadat. And this is something which is flawed by distraction, is the way it's their translation is, which is a good translation. 1 second here. Okay, the zot ve'od shenit, and this and another thing. Lizaher b'tvila b'cholet. You should be very careful with ritual immersions. Going in the mikveh. Ulekavein b'mikveh hakavana hashaycha l'mikveh. And you should when you go into the mikveh, have in mind those kavanot, those intentions which are appropriate for the mikveh, and those are things that you can find. They can be taught to you, but only it should only be done from a source that you know is a proper and holy source. The bottom line is, when you go into the mikveh, you should intend. If you don't know the different Kabbalistic Havanot, you just have in mind that Hashem is your mikveh, and you're going in order that Hashem should purify you to serve Him properly. V'achut hamshulash lo bimhera yinatek, and a 3-thread cord is not easily severed. La'archik et atzmo me'atzvut. So the third string, so to speak, in this cord is that you have to distance yourself from sadness or depression completely. V'yeh libo samech in your b'Hashem, and as we mentioned before, your heart should be joyous with Hashem, be happy with Hashem. You serve Hashem with joy, and that's a great place for us to conclude today's shiur, to serving Hashem with joy. Thank you very much for joining us here at koshertorah.com, and also relatabletorah.com. If you look down there, is it there or is it there? I'm not sure. But down there somewhere, there is a subscription button. So please subscribe to our channel so you know when new classes are coming out. At this time, we're striving to get out at least one class each weekday, and let's see how that develops. In any case, thank you very much for coming. I'm your host, Ben-Tzion Saloff. Shalom. Have a wonderful day, a beautiful Shabbos, a Shabbos filled with good health, happiness, and light, and inspiration. All the very best. God bless you.